Hi friends, I'm Lauren.
And I'm Katie, and welcome to Okay, But Did You Know? A podcast where we talk about the TV and media that we love with a friend who's never seen it before.
Today we're recapping and chatting about Once Upon a Time, episode 303, Quite a Common Fairy. This episode aired on October 13th, 2013. It was written by Jen Espenson, and I am going to butcher this name. I'm so sorry to this director. It was directed by Alex Zakrzewski. I think I'm saying that right. I probably am not.
It sounds right.
It's I was gonna say that it'll be in the show notes. It's not. Look it up on the wiki. It'll tell you how to spell this guy's name. Before we get into our chaos and chatting, and I look forward to Katie yelling at me about things, let's go into a synopsis for Quite a Common Fairy. In the Enchanted Forest, after having been left alone by the king and Snow again, Regina is desperate for something new. When she accidentally falls from her balcony, she's saved by Tinkerbell, who promises that she can use pixie dust to find Regina's soulmate and help her find happiness. Blue doesn't want Tink helping Regina, but she defies the head fairy's orders and brings Regina to a tavern where they see the pixie dust has led them, to her soulmate, the man with the lion tattoo. Afraid to let go of her anger, Regina runs home, never meeting her soulmate, and Tink loses her wings for defying Blue's orders. And in Neverland, while Henry falls in deeper with Pan and the Lost Boys, our heroes continue to search for the compound that appears to keep moving on the map. Hook suggests that they ask for help from Tinkerbell, thinking she might have some pixie dust to help them. Regina knows that their past will keep the fairy from coming to their aid, and when she hangs back from the group, Tink ambushes her and kidnaps her. Tink is still angry about how everything went down in their past and threatens to kill Regina. But when Regina offers up her heart, finally admitting that she was too afraid to go in, Tink lets her go, and only offers to help after Snow and Emma offer her a home in Storybrooke. Meanwhile, Neil works with Mulan and Robin to use Robin's son Roland to lure the shadow to them so that he can use it to fly to Neverland. Robin offers Mulan a place among his merry men, but she denies him at first, deciding to go home and tell Aurora how she really feels about her. When she discovers that Aurora is pregnant, Mulan decides to take Robin up on his offer rather than hurt herself further. And we catch a glimpse again of Robin's arm, for he is the man with the lion tattoo.
Yes, he was.
He was. I mean, I don't think that was really like, that wasn't...
It wasn't like, oh my god, it's him. It was just like, oh, okay.
Yeah, that's a pretty fair assessment. So I think a while back I mentioned the ship war quadfecta, and you didn't understand what Outlaw Queen was?
No, I did not.
That would be Robin and Regina.
But it's like actually that's interesting.
Okay, so we actually, as far as I can tell, we don't see Robin again until... I don't remember if it's 212 or 213. Not 2. I don't remember if it's 312 or 313. We're in season 3 now.
So
wrong season. We're wrong season. So I can't remember if he comes back in New York City Serenade. I think he does. I'm pretty sure the line I'm thinking of is from that episode.
Okay.
So that's the next time we'll see him. So he gets to take a little break for a few weeks. But we will see them finally meet and how all that goes.
Ooh.
Regina gets to be happy for a little while.
Oh, joy.
A little while.
It's only ever a little while.
There's a lot going on. I mean, like, there's a lot going on with Outlaw Queen. They like to use Regina as a punching bag.
I'm seeing that.
Yeah. Literally.
I did love us starting out with, I don't like apples. It's a family thing. And I'm like,
yeah.
Okay, Henry.
Yeah, who doesn't like apples?
I did really love the Ruby Slippers reference. That was a good one.
It was a very good one. It's really funny, though, considering Ruby Slippers are a trademark thing by, like, MGM. So when we do eventually see a version of them, they are, in fact, silver slippers when we do eventually get to see The Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, I had a feeling.
That is, in fact, a registered trademark. You cannot use Ruby Slippers.
Nope. The whole discussion of fairy dust versus pixie dust was definitely a choice and interesting.
Yeah, it's never explained. I think they just realized that they needed to use the actual term pixie dust. So they called it. I wrote this down. David Nolan, did you just say nuclear? My dude, your Louisville is showing.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. Like, we love you, dude, but like a little bit.
Rose Swan. That's amusing. You'll get that later. I was dead. I was like, I'm dead. That was amazing. I loved that moment.
And that's the only scene we had with Rumpelstiltskin the entire episode, and it was phenomenal.
It was perfect. I loved it.
Here's the thing, I like the dark one, like crazy dark one, better than I like Mr. Gold, because at least Enchanted Forest, crazy dark one, at least he's honest about his motives.
Very true. It was pretty okay. Let me start here. Teenagers are dumb and annoying.
Yes, they are.
They don't stop. But I was like, good on Henry for, trying to off Pan. Like, I'm going to shoot Peter Pan instead. I thought that was really brave of him. But obviously it didn't work because nothing ever goes as planned.
Nah.
Hook knowing Charming was hit. I was like, of course.
It's the bromance.
It's the bromance, but also Hook. And I'm like, the whole freaking time, I'm like, Charming, just say the words. Why are men? Just tell her. Like, stop being dumb.
He's idiot number 2. He literally can't be. He literally can't not be dumb.
So this whole storyline too with the fairy stuff, I was like, the evil blue fairy theory is so much cooler than what we're getting. Like, it's I enjoyed this, obviously.
Yeah.
But like, if seeing all of these scenes with Blue, I'm like, if they had gone that route, it would have been mind-blowing. It would have been so good.
It really would have, because, like, unfortunately, what we get with Blue for the most part is she's just so self-righteous, it makes her annoying.
She really is. I was like, what is it about Regina that, yes, I know she's training with the Dark One, but like, look at her actual life. They can see these things. This
is the thing that I go back to a lot, because there's a lot from the Regina Rising book that I don't consider canon, because it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Like, if you really do bring it in with the timeline of the show, which, who cares about the timeline, not the writers. But what happens is, one thing I do like about it is that it does give us backstory for Regina's scar, which is Lana's scar. Like, I'll put an article or a video where she explains it, because she got attacked by a dog, like, when she was a kid. That's what happened. And like, it does make a lot of sense that, like, Cora being Cora would not let her daughter be marred for any particular reason. So it wouldn't make sense that she'd still have it. But I do like that they kept it in, just because, like, why make up out her scar? It's like, it's barely noticeable unless, like, you're really looking for it.
Yeah.
But part of it was, in the book, Cora does get rid of the scar when she first gets it. Like, she falls off her horse, and that's what happens. And Regina calls on the Blue Fairy, and the Blue Fairy answers, because at the time, Regina was pure of heart. And what she asks basically for is, like, something to remind... It was a way to defy Cora, and that was to bring the scar back. And have it never be allowed. She can never remove it again. But something that Blue says, or I'm paraphrasing here because it's been a while since I read it, but Blue basically says, like, you're the daughter of Cora. Like, there's so much, like, darkness in your life. Like, I don't know if I can help you. But Regina goes, but if I wasn't pure of heart, would you have even shown up when I called?
Ooh,
like,
interesting.
Blue is bound by her rules. Blue is bound by the laws of the fairies, whatever. And Regina was pure of heart there, but, like, Blue does it because, like, she's like, yeah, technically I wouldn't have actually shown up if that wasn't the case. And then this was, like, Regina was 16 at the time. But, like, Blue's bound by her own laws. And, like, if we take that into account with this, I mean, the book was written years after this season, but still, like, Blue just kind of, she's just too self-righteous. That's really what it is she holds on to her own decided rules of fairydom.
Yeah.
Because she can.
Where did I write it? I think at one point I even said I'm starting to see why Rumple doesn't like fairies because of Blue. I'm like, Blue, stop. Please stop. And then I got really, really angry.
Okay.
Because you know how I am I'm a mom.
Yeah.
No, Neil, please don't use someone else's child as bait.
At best, my toddler is bait.
And I even wrote, this just makes me like Neil even less. I get it. He wants to get to Emma and Henry.
Yeah.
But using someone else's kid to do so, knowing how dangerous that actually is. Because if they hadn't saved Roland and all that didn't actually go as planned, that 4-year-old's out the window.
Yeah.
Like, I really, really hated that.
That's
so
fair.
much. I don't like Neil. I don't like Neil. No,
neither
Neil
do
bad.
I. Neil bad. I don't like him either.
I love the whole, like, what did you do to her? Like, when Emma, I was like, same question. What did she do to Tinkerbell? Because it's Tinkerbell. How do you be mean to Tinkerbell?
How do you turn Tinkerbell into that? I mean, I do love the
Right?
line when they're in the cave when she goes, "How in the hell did you get like this?" And the answer is, "I met you," which,
Yep.
like, to be fair, is a really good, like, I guess, flip or comparison to 102 when Emma asks Regina, "How in the hell did you get like this?" Because now it's Regina seeing, like, her actions hurt
Mm-hmm.
more than herself.
Yeah, then I did right though. Oh, Regina, lying is bad.
Lying
Like,
is bad, especially. I just love the relationship between Regina and Tink could have been so different, but I just still love that she just hops on the bed like they're just like gals gabbing at a sleepover.
yeah, that's very Tinkerbell of
Yeah.
her to do. Like that's definitely something I would see Tinkerbell doing.
Yeah.
Henry being the savior to save magic is interesting. I don't know if that's actually true or anything like that. It's Pan saying it. I'll know eventually, but I'm just kind of sitting here like, so they had a baby to save from a curse. She had a baby, but now he's going to save magic. And I'm like, why is all the procreating happening? Like,
He is
so much.
he does have the heart of the truest believer. That Pan is not
Okay.
lying about. What that heart can be used for is yet to be seen.
Lovely.
This is what I mean when I say the hilarity of Greg and Tamara's whole plan. They thought it was about destroying magic, but quite frankly, kidnapping Henry and bringing him to Neverland is going to amplify magic.
Oh, lovely.
So, like, they were literally working against themselves the entire time, and I find that endlessly hilarious.
Well, they died, so.
And then they died, the end.
And what you already knew was coming. Fucking Mulan and Aurora.
Please yell at me about this.
I am still at the same level of angry as I was 2 hours ago because, yes, I procrastinate horribly. I even wrote, "Oh my god, give me Balloon and Aurora, damn it." And then right after, in all caps, it's like, no babies. I don't like this.
No babies.
And then I put, poor Mulan. Fuck. Like, this close. We got this close to getting what I fucking wanted. And no, we have to make Aurora pregnant and happy with a man. No.
You feel better?
No.
No?
No.
I mean, would it make you feel better to think that people still watched that scene and thought that she was going to go there to say that she loved Philip because people are idiots? People see what they want to see.
But it was so obvious.
It's clearly obvious, and this is my thing with it. The actors thought that that's what she was going to do. Like, the actors feel like that's clearly what was happening there. Both Jamie Chung and Sarah Bolger were like, nope, that's what that was happening there. But later on, we're going to see Mulan talk. We're going to see Mulan again, I mean, throughout the seasons, but I'm thinking specifically season 5. And she's going to talk about this moment. And she's intentionally vague and intentionally uses they, them pronouns.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, and like, this is my thing of, like, the writers are cowards. Because I love you writers, but you're cowards. Because, like, if she was talking about Philip, she would use he, him pronouns. But she uses they, them pronouns, which she's being vague because...
That's ambiguous.
Not her. The writers are being vague because they mean Aurora, but that's not even the depressing thing that I told you.
Oh, fuck, what's the depressing
There's
thing?
more. So this is my thing. When Katie messaged me, just like with like a screaming gif, and
I gave no context.
No context. I was like, is this about Quite a Common Fairy? Or like, yes. I'm like, is this about Mulan or something else? Because it could have been about the Regina scene because it was a very heartbreaking scene. I didn't know. I love that scene. I literally just posted
it was a wonderful scene.
I literally just posted the amateur ADR today. It has like 40 views. Those sometimes do well and sometimes really don't. I don't know if it's timing. I don't know what it is with the app. Because like I have ones that still get likes and views weeks, months later.
I don't even touch the app anymore. And I'm still getting likes on a video from a year and a half ago.
Exactly. But here's my slightly depressing analysis of Sleeping Warrior. I kind of like the idea that Aurora is Mulan's true love, but Mulan is not hers. It's depressing. What? It's a really depressing take on this because it all kind of, because it also kind of comes into the thing of that you can have multiple true loves, you can have multiple soulmates depending on your time and place.
Yeah.
So like Regina's true love when she was younger was Daniel, and as he dies and her timeline moves forward, she has a new one, and in that being Robin. In a timeline where they didn't get Philip back, I could see that Aurora and Mulan would become a thing in camaraderie. You know, it would in that timeline, whatever. Mulan would then become Aurora's true love. But since they are in the version where they got Philip back, it's depressing. But I kind of like the true love trope being turned on its head with you are not always your true love's true love.
We're not always the same people.
Exactly. We're not always the same people that, especially when you meet them, you never know what's going to happen.
So I'm definitely the different person that I was 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm. So, like, if Regina hadn't met Robin back then, who knows if it would have even worked, just because the Pixie... Like, I will say with Outlaw Queens, a lot of their relationship, I would say, is it's one of the few ships on the show that I would say they're together because the writers say so, but also... But, because, like, the other... And only because their romance doesn't really have... It just doesn't have the same space as the other ones to grow. Like... It's just, it's always a side romance, even when it is in the middle of, like, a major conflict, it is still kind of a side romance to the other ones. But that's one where, like, they're together because the writers say so. He does offer a lot that she needs and vice versa. But also Lana and Sean just have a lot of really good chemistry with each other. Mm-hmm. So I'm okay with it.
That's fair.
Yeah.
It is a little funny. Let's put, like, this show is just insane. Oh, we put Rumpelstiltskin and Belle together. Let's put Robin Hood and the evil queen together. Oh, we're gonna put Hook and this person. Like, it's just so funny to me.
I mean,
Leroy's with a fairy. Like,
Leroy's with a fairy. I mean, Fairy Queen was always one of my favorite ships in the RP community, which is Tink and Regina.
Yes. Oh,
I mean, that one works because, like, honestly, because here's the thing: is the scene with the very, not the very first one, but the one with them at, like, the tavern the first time she picks her up, literally. You know, Snow White. That's her name. Even I think that's a bit precious, and mine's Tinkerbell. She's a monster. Totally indulged, adored. Sort of ricochets through life telling people secrets. She had my fiancé killed. Now, the only way I can get through it is that she and the king are gone all the time. You're glad your husband's gone. It's not a marriage. It's a farce. I may be the queen, but in that palace I feel like the queen of nothing. No wonder you jumped. I didn't jump. I fell. Right. You fell. I did. But if I had... Well, here's the good reasons. You know, I've got an idea. I can help people find what they need, Regina. What do I need? You don't even know? That's so sad, Regina. Love. You need love. You're going to help me find another soulmate. It is possible to find love again. I've never seen pixie dust fail. It will find you your perfect match. If you lit it, it will find your happy ending. My happy ending looks like Snow's head on a plate. Nope. Aren't you at least curious? What if I can do what I say? Well, I'd say that's real magic. Well, I'm a fairy. You might want to try believing in me. Like, that alone, like, yes, it is her trying to matchmake her with some random person that she finds through pixie dust. But, like, I mean, is that not the beginning of a rom-com of, like, I'm gonna help you find your true love? Oh no, we fell in love all along. Like
it would just, because then you have the little joke of, like, oh, let the pixie dust try and drop it, and it goes nowhere, and you're like, wait, where? It's not going anywhere. Why isn't it going anywhere?
It's because true love was right in front of you all along. But, like,
along.
Fairy Queen would have worked. But also, I wrote down towards the bottom after Tink and Hook see each other again, and, like, you know, he says Lady Belle. I went, Hooker Tink works too. Wait, Hooker Fairy Queen. Why was this never anything that I wrote?
I foresee some writing in your future.
I don't have the time. I don't have the time.
Oh, I feel that. I have, like, a week to finish my story.
I have to add a chapter to mine.
I have, like, more than halfway. No, a little bit less than halfway to go.
Okay. We have time.
Do you know what I'm doing tomorrow?
For context, we are both authors in anthologies this year. By the time this episode's out, the anthology we're talking about will be available.
And I might be in it.
But at the time of recording, we are, in fact, 10 days away from our deadline.
I need to write. But that's all I pretty much wrote down.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be bitter and angry about about Mulan forever. Yeah. I want justice for Mulan's love.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, I know it was 2013, but, like, that wasn't that long ago.
No, it wasn't. And, like,
give us that.
We're gonna see the first canon sapphic couple in 2 seasons. That's end of season 5.
Yeah, but it's Mulan and Aurora. I've been obsessing over this for how long?
I'm gonna guess the beginning of season 2 would be my guess.
That's been a long while.
Been a long time. I mean, so the next one we get, the first one we get, really, like, the actual canon one, you're not gonna really enjoy it all that much. But right. Like, because here's the thing is, it's just, and it's one thing of, like, yes, it's sapphic, and, like, everyone was like, yeah, that was great. But how about we actually give them time to develop their relationship, and you give us time to care about the characters? Because it was literally 1 episode. It's like, that's what I say about a lot of things. It's like, oh, we have given representation. We have done a good thing. Like, honey, you did the bare minimum.
As people who watch lots of media, and all of our media gets canceled pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Like there's actually like sapphic shows I refuse to watch right now because I know I'm just gonna be angry that because I already know they're canceled.
Yeah.
Before I can even get to the media, it's canceled.
Mm-hmm.
That's what happened with Rise of the Pink Ladies. I never
yeah.
finished. I still have not finished to this day.
Yeah, me neither, actually.
Because by the time I was trying to finish, they had taken it off the platform.
I bought it and I still haven't finished it.
Okay, I'm not alone there. I didn't finish. Oh God, I love it. What was it? It's on Amazon. Baseball.
Oh, A League of Their Own.
I still have not finished that show because the last episode I watched triggered me so much.
Oh yeah, the riot.
All because the like when they're in the bar,
the raid.
It hurt so much watching that, and like sure. I just felt pure fear watching it, and I was like, if I had lived this long ago, it's so scary.
It is,
and I watch horror. That was scarier.
It was thing is like that always like that's what I say about like a lot of Disney villains. Like that's why I say Gaston is like I would say one of the most terrifying villains, not because he's monstrous, but because he's realistic.
Exactly. Oh, I love a realistic villain. I love a villain that's very much like I'm a horrible person and like deal with it type. Like I know I'm like this.
Then you will love Cruella.
I cannot wait for Cruella. I mean, after this dumpster fire of Peter Pan, like I still don't know why Peter Pan's so scary.
You'll find out, but like. Girl, you can't give I Only Wish to Have a Coat Made Out of Puppies a sympathetic backstory. You just can't. I don't care what Disney tried doing. That the Cruella movie with Emma Stone, still to this day, I stand by. That was not a Cruella de Vil origin story movie. What it was a good movie that they slapped Cruella de Vil on for brand recognition.
I can feel. I could see that. I enjoy the movie.
Yeah,
but
that's a good movie. But like
her being evil because her mom's also evil just didn't make much sense.
Our version of Cruella quite literally it's something I say a lot about the villains on the show is they're pretty good at finding the thing that you love most and exploiting that. The thing she loves most is killing people.
Just take me back to I know I'll love this Cruella, but take me back to what was it, early 2000s.
Glenn Close.
The live Glenn Close. I'm sorry,
she's good.
I know I love this Cruella, but Glenn Close's Cruella was chef's kiss. Amazing.
She was fantastic. I think that was one thing. I mean, we're so off on the wrong season, but I think that was one thing that Victoria said, like when she was like trying to like create her version of Cruella was she intentionally didn't watch those versions because she's like, I know that if I go back and watch the live action versions or the animated version, she's like, I will be too nervous. How do you top Glenn Close? You can't. So like, I just have to make it my own, and she does a phenomenal job with it because she's delightful chaos. And there were times, and we'll get into this in season 4, but like so much. I was like, I'm just so excited for that arc. That's 4B. But there were times, and like she does kind of like take some of like the poses and stuff from the animated because
we kind of have to.
Well, because she does a lot of like holding her hand like this, kind of like with like one arm down here, because they wouldn't let her have a cigarette because it's ABC.
Oh yeah.
So she's like, I had to kind of emulate it a little bit, but there were times when she would do things, and the director would be like, okay, so I see you're at like an energy level 8 cartoony. I mean, you take it down to like a 5. Like he had to pull her back because like, and sometimes that's kind of what you want is you want it to almost be too big, so the direction can, because it's much easier to take it back than it is to like amp up the energy. Like if she was going to like she was being too cartoony, like okay, how about we take it down 17 notches? That's a lot easier.
Yeah, I could see that. I can't wait to see it, but we have to survive Peter Pan first.
You gotta survive Peter Pan, and then we'll have the ever so lovely Wicked Witch of the West, and then the Frozen arc, which is chaos, and has.
That had to have been like a popularity thing at the time.
Oh, they did it as soon. Well, no, they did that. That was the soonest they could do it because that's the fall of 2014, and Frozen came out in 2013.
You're like, that's all my brain can think. It's like they did that fast.
This is my thing. At the time, the Frozen arc felt like a money grab because it was, honestly. Like it was like let's bank on its popularity.
Like, oh, this is popular. Here you go.
Watching it now, though, with the context of what it does for the stories, I love it. Like I truthfully like just subsequent watches, things that I didn't like in first watch. As I get older, as I analyze things differently, the Frozen arc is one thing. I'm like, I love what this does for the characters, for like our main cast dynamics. Elizabeth Mitchell is just really nice to look at, and I'm me.
That's like 90% of this show.
There's just that, but also Ingrid's just a really compelling character, and it's. I have my gripes with I have my gripes with everything on the show, but like, you have 2.5 full arcs of story before you get to Cruella, unfortunately. But
That'll be all right. I can survive this.
yeah, you can because you will always have me to yell at when things bother you. So
Mulan deserves the world.
Mulan does deserve the world. So back to Quite a Common Fairy. I don't have it's fine. I don't have a lot of fun facts. This one really didn't have, but I have Rose McIver's IMDb, and her IMDb is kind of amazing.
Mhm.
So, I mean, for fun facts, Regina is wearing she's got like it's a necklace that's like an apple tree. The wiki says like it's an apple tree with a circle around it. I'm like, this is a tree of life. That's what that pendant is.
That's a tree of life.
Last time we saw her wear that was in We Are Both. So like they reuse these things for parts that are like similar, like I would say similar emotions for her character, like for the flashbacks. Like these are like a couple years apart. I think it's like 5 or something years apart according to my timeline, but like emotionally she's kind of at the same place.
Mm-hmm.
And then we still don't know a lot about where the fairies come from, but the use of the Tulip Grove as their home mirrors the Hans Christian Andersen story Thumbelina.
Oh, that's sweet. Which is so funny though, because then they eventually made all of their Tinkerbell movies,
Mm-hmm.
which that's where my brain went.
Yeah,
because I've had to watch all of those. They're good.
I've watched a good chunk of them. Jennifer Goodwin's in one of them.
What is she not in?
She's she plays Fawn in the Never Beast one.
That's only that one?
Just that one, because they change, like the other fairies that aren't Tink, they all change actors.
Why?
My guess is just availability, because I think Rosita, at one point is Kristen Chenoweth, and then she's Megan Hilty, and then she's somebody else. Like I think it's just
that makes sense with the Kristen Chenoweth.
It's just whoever's available.
All right then, is what it is.
Mm-hmm. So Rose McIver is our Tinkerbell, and we will see her on and off throughout the season. And she is a New Zealand actor. She has 60 acting credits.
Wow.
Yeah. As a child, she was in like the Hercules TV movies of the 90s, as well as in an episode of Xena Warrior Princess.
Yes.
She's as our childhood, she was in a number of Disney Channel original movies.
Really?
Yeah. So the two that I found, she was in Johnny Capahala, Back on the Board. I don't think I ever saw that.
I remember that one.
The one that I know her from is Eddie's $1 Million Cook-Off. I loved that one.
That one was so good.
That one was, and she was so good in that one because she was.
I'm about
she was
to just start showing those to my kids.
Do it, please. Like Eddie's $1 Million Cook-Off might be my favorite Disney Channel original movie.
That bowling one.
Which was the bowling?
I grew up bowling, and there was a bowling one because I got so angry. I loved it, but I got so angry at the end because the girl picks up a split,
mm-hmm.
and you cannot. Like, it's near impossible to pick up a split.
Yeah.
What is it called? Google.
I don't know.
Alley Cat Strike.
Oh, I don't think I ever saw that one.
It came out in 2000.
Okay. It's one of the earlier ones. I mean, I've seen a bunch of the earlier ones. Like, because they would do like marathons of them. Like, I think it was the one thing that Disney Channel did, like with like New Year's, they would do like a DCOM marathon.
Yeah. I remember. I miss like DCOMs. When a lot of them would come out too, because especially like Halloween Town and ones like those, we watch those you have to watch all those. I got really annoyed when they started changing actresses though.
Everyone is annoyed that they changed the actor for Marnie, and like even like Kimberly J. Brown's like, yeah, they just didn't ask me to come back. They just changed their minds. I don't know.
Like she should have been back for Marnie. She was Marnie.
Marnie.
But then Debbie Reynolds, like,
she was the best. She was the best Aggie. She was the best person for that.
But then, like, I feel like we also had an era of like actually having spookier type things for kids.
Mm-hmm.
We've kind of lost it a little bit, which is a whole nother rant I could go on.
I will say, Don't Look Under the Bed terrified me.
Dude, it was so scary.
That one was so scary.
It was so scary. I was terrified.
That's
never. That's it. We're going to just start, like, we're going to make a video sometime soon of us ranking Disney Channel movies. Like,
please.
Oh my God, we should. Like, pick a selection and rewatch them.
Honestly, here's the thing. We're going to do movies soon. DCOMs or movies?
DCOMs or movies. Oh my God. We gotta, like, oh man.
I'm not even done with Rose's IMDb, and we're off on another tangent.
Oh shit.
There's more.
There's more. Let's keep going.
She was like 16 in those movies.
You got us distracted with the fucking Disney Channel movies of our time.
Here's the next amazing one. She was in a version of the Power Rangers.
Seriously?
She played the Yellow Ranger in Power Rangers RPM.
Oh my.
I never saw that version, but she
I
was.
wasn't big on Power Rangers.
I liked the I guess the first Power Rangers movie with Ivan Ooze.
Okay.
And we had an SNES video game that I liked to play. And my brother had the action figures where like the heads would flip up, so like one side was like their head and one side was like the helmet, which I'm pretty sure if we hadn't actually played with them are considered collector's editions now. But we played with them.
We were a big Pokemon household.
Us too.
Still, when the song comes on, I can sing it. Only when it's on, though. I can't do it without it now.
Remind me to send you a video. There's a hilarious one. Her IMDb is they require tangents for her IMDb, but for the Pokemon theme song, it was
the very best.
No one ever was.
Never was.
We'll link this because this is.
We're showing our age so much.
But here's the thing. This is fucking hilarious. So, one SDCC. I think this was the one before season 6.
Okay.
MTV did their they had like their booth with like that they did panels all the time, or they did, I guess, interviews.
Yeah.
So, and the cast of Once did theirs all the time. And so this year, it was the year that Pokemon Go had come out.
2016?
So it's 2016. And one of like the random, like, because the guy, he had a game at the end of it that was like nerd or poser kind of thing.
Yeah.
So and like, I will go into at some point when it's relevant. I'll find a time to slot it in
when it's relevant.
the time that, because when he did that one for them in 2013 that one's even better, but not the point. So this SDCC, the people that were there, was Jen, Josh, Lana, other people. Jared was there that year.
Ooh.
So he was playing Pokemon Go. But the last nerd or poser question was the Pokemon theme song, but like, just like, can you just like sing the Pokemon theme song? But at that point, Jared was like so done with all the Pokemon conversation because they had like basically like interviewed him about all of like the Pokemon Go questions. He's like, nah, you're all on your own for this one. And none of them knew it because they're all Gen Xers. They're all a little on the older side for it. So he gave them the card. He basically gave Jen and Josh the card, and they basically just read it like a spoken word poem. So you have Jen like reading out like the lyrics, and then you have Josh next to her like you have like, gotta catch 'em all, Pokemon. Like you'd do that every single time. I'll send it to you. I'll put it in the link in the show notes. Because, oh my God, that's one of the best renditions of that theme song I've ever heard in my life. Back to Rose McIver's IMDb. I promise we're almost done.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. She was in the Showtime series Masters of Sex. That was about the Masters and Johnson sexuality study from the 50s. I
need to watch that. That sounds interesting.
It's a good show. That one's with Michael Sheen and Lizzie Kaplan, or Masters and Johnson, respectively. She starred in, this is one of my favorite things, is she stars in the Christmas Prince movies on Netflix.
Christmas Prince.
There's 3 of them, 4 if you count, like they did a crossover with the Princess Switch movies.
Is that with,
I don't know any other actors in that movie other than her. It's one though that I
swear to God, if it's who I think it is, it's another Disney.
It's one that I watch a lot just because my best friend loves it, because there's like a scene where she just kind of comes face to face with a wolf. And just kind of...
Oh, no, it's her. It's just her. I thought it was another thing.
No, that's Rose McIver.
Yeah.
So she's a Netflix Christmas movie star. She starred in iZombie for 5 seasons alongside David Anders.
I'd never finished iZombie, but I liked it.
It was a good show. So David Anders, our Dr. Whale, when you eventually stop seeing him all the time, which is about now, is when iZombie started. Like basically season 4... maybe 5. I don't know. One of those seasons.
That's getting to me. That's she played Liv. That's the main. Okay.
Yeah, she's the main character in iZombie.
That messes with my brain. I was like, wait a minute.
This is one thing I will say is her American accent. I almost feel like throughout iZombie got even better because now the thing that she's on CBS, the CBS sitcom Ghosts, which is entering its 4th season.
I need to watch that too.
Such a good show, because like now I would say you would like, if I didn't know she was an American, I wouldn't know she's using an accent. But I feel like it got better throughout iZombie, like through those 5 years of doing it all the time, and now it's even better because like it's
so hard to put the two together, because in iZombie they wash her out so much because she's a zombie.
Yes.
So like it's hard to actually realize that's her until you see it, because she is so pale from the makeup in that show that she does not look the same.
Yeah.
At all, which is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I need to go back and finish that. I never finished it.
Me neither.
That and Santa Clarita Diet, like
Yeah.
that one was just campy fun.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what do you do in a when Drew Barrymore becomes a zombie? Essentially,
Exactly. So, I mean, I've mostly highlighted a lot of the same things that you did. One thing with the scene from the two of them, when even I think it's a bit precious of mine's Tinkerbell, the line of like no wonder you jumped. I didn't jump, I fell. Right, you fell. Yep. People who don't, because people don't like that joke. Like I see a lot of stuff online, like, oh my god, like they're really joking about how she almost killed herself, and I'm like, y'all clearly don't have the very macabre sense of humor and talk about the weirdest things with your friends. Because like.
Enter us.
Like
this is all we do.
Like you fell. Yep. Sure. Like that was. I mean, it was an accident, but still, like that's the kind of joke you and I would
like.
Make.
It's so clearly an accident when it happens. Like,
yeah,
that's the joke of it.
Exactly.
Because the railing. She didn't know the railing was going to break.
No, she's getting frustrated. She was.
I thought it was a very funny joke, but I have some very like self-deprecating humor that I usually throw out.
I mean, yeah, that's what we do. Like, I mean, what did I say all the time about like any tall woman? I'm like, this woman that she could crush me with her thighs, and I would say thank you. Like, that's just how we talk to each other.
Like, we had a fun conversation at work recently, and everybody's like talking about childhoods, and I said like two things, and then immediately everyone went quiet, and I had that moment of like, oh wait, wrong friend group.
Yeah, like you really have to tailor things.
Like I was like, I shouldn't have said that. Like it was bad.
That's why I like our friendship.
Everybody in the room was just kind of looking at me like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "I'm great. I promise you, I'm fine. I'm fine now."
Now the answer. Yeah. That's the thing. It's like, yeah, no, we're fine now. But there was a time
and a place.
But I did love like the evolution of. I mean, we're seeing a lot of Regina and Emma's relationship. In this one, the like when Regina holds, it's like when Regina stays back and Emma just goes, hey, like ladies, can you be a little less gay?
I don't know. She's got that shirt on and we can see the arms.
Yeah, so we have Emma with the muscle tank and Regina with like the blouse that's like mostly unbuttoned. But like as I was saying before, like as I watch the show and things change for me, like I was saying before about the Frozen arc, I say this about their relationship too. I see their relationship kind of in a new light, like the things that they're pulling throughout the show, like their friendship really does start to blossom a lot sooner, I would say, than I think I usually ever figured. Because there's like a moment where like there's the friendship kind of solidifies in season, like end of season 3, beginning of season 4. But like I still stand by as a canon romantic couple, they would kill each other.
Yep.
But like the moment with Emma talking to Regina about what happened with Tink and bonding over the need to get Henry back, like I can see the friendship, like a seed of friendship being planted. Look, they have other things.
They had a wonderful opportunity there for there to be mommies, and they didn't go with it.
No,
but I mean, we'll be okay with that. But there was an opportunity there.
There was an opportunity.
Today's theme: how can we make this gayer?
Is that not the theme of my life?
Like, yes.
Is that not what I said? Like in like our coffee chat for July was like my inspiration for writing is let me look at these tropes and these things that I see in other media. How can I make it gayer?
Yeah, no, that's fair.
That's just my existence.
Fair.
But I like the metaphor of you can let go of that anger that's weighing you down, and like Regina being terrified to do that, which makes perfect sense. Like. She's fed up with the darkness, as we saw earlier in the episode, but she doesn't know what to do with it. Like the line is from the end was like, you said I could let go of that anger that was weighing me down. And it felt like without it, I would just float away. What would I be without it? Happy, weak. And then Tink, she's like, look at what good it did you, the strength you gained. Because I'm holding your heart in my hands. And I'm not hearing one reason not to turn it into ash, which is fair. Like Regina's not doing a good job of defending herself.
And that goes back, though, to Rumple, though, be telling her, like, bring your rage, because her power is so, like, at that time, her power was so, like...
Entangled,
yeah. Her power was so entangled with her anger. So she truly, like, she really did believe the weakness was, okay, well, if I'm not angry, I'm not powerful, and if I'm not powerful, I'm weak.
Yeah, exactly. Like, Rumple taught her to use her anger for her magic. And so she's learned that love is weakness and anger is power. And it's fair that after so long of so much heartache and sadness and anger and everything going on, that is, it's terrifying to basically be handed happiness on a silver platter.
Mhm.
Like someone tell me, like, just let go of it and you'll be fine and you'll be happy. Like, I don't know how to, she doesn't know how to be happy. She needs time to learn how to be happy. And
it's starting. Like, all she needed was a nice little talk with her gal pal that tried to kill her.
We'll see more gal pal moments of Regina and Tink later on in the season. Because, like, there's one point, like Tink, like, because Regina will meet Robin eventually, and Tink will, like, and Tink will seem like, there he is, they had the lion tattoo. She's like, I know, I saw yesterday. And you didn't tell me? Well, I was a little too busy to dig to gap about boys. Like, it's because it's like a literal, like, interaction from the show. Because Tink's just like, but we're gal pals. Like, are we though? Tell me. I want to talk to you about these things. So it's
like, just talk, Regina. It helps to talk.
She still hasn't learned that lesson that she needs to talk about things, unfortunately. But she'll get there. Eventually, she'll learn to open up about her feelings. I do say though, so this is not the last time we'll see Tink in a flashback when it comes to Regina. Based solely on this episode, I feel like she's a little too angry when we see her. Yeah. With all context that I know of, it's justified. Because there's like there'll be one more episode that we'll see later on in the show that I'm like, that involves Tink and Regina. I'm like, yep, you're good. I get it now. But based on this, like, she's a little too angry, I would say.
Yeah, it felt that way.
She's been holding on to it for a long time.
With this show, I've learned, like, if it's not explained to me now, give it a season. I'll learn.
You'll learn eventually. Well, Tink. So this is the scene I'm thinking of is in season 6.
See, like, give it time. Give it a couple eventually.
Years. Give it a year and a half.
Year and a half. Good God. We're gonna finish this.
We will.
Great.
We are gonna finish this. So
made it this far.
You have, and you know what? You will make it through. I think this is the only arc that I think really needs pulling. Like, I need to, like, kind of drag you along the way, because I also don't entirely enjoy it, but I know that what's coming is worth watching. So
that's fair.
Yeah. So I have one more tiny rant to go on, but we can save that for after stats. So what did you rate this episode?
Okay, so it's really funny that you're like, oh, I have to drag you through this. This is a fucking 30. This was 30? So much fun.
Oh, I love that.
So much fun with this episode. I'm still mad at Neil, but I'm always mad at Neil. So, like, I don't like to rate off of Neil.
Mm-hmm. That's fair.
That makes sense?
That's fair.
Because then I'd have so many low episodes because Neil's just present. And, like, and yes, I'm upset for Mulan. I want vengeance for Mulan so bad. But I feel like it didn't take away from the episode.
That's fair.
That's just my own gay feelings.
It's interesting that you gave this one a 30 because this, like I say, there's like, of this arc, the episodes that I really love are 3, 6, and 9. So it'll be interesting to see what you give 6 and 9.
Oh, I can't. I'm a child.
I didn't even say the combined number. Are you kidding me?
Like I said, I'm a child.
We're talking about spicy stuff later.
I know, and it'll be great.
Oh, that are we gonna make it through that?
I hope so. But we've got, like, 6 is Ariel, so I'm probably, like, I'm obligated to like that.
Now there's so much in that. Weird. Oh, you know what? When we get to Ariel, I finally can send you the Pinky and the Brain Rumpelstiltskin Regina video.
Yes, and then 9 is Save Henry, so I'm assuming I'm going to like that one just based off of Regina and Emma doing things together.
That one's gonna be the one to make you cry.
Oh, fuck.
That's the one where we see the flashback of Regina adopting Henry.
I'm gonna bawl my eyes out, and then I'd say I'd send you my therapy bills, but I actually have to, like, be in therapy for that to happen. So
I gotta pay my own therapy bills. I am your therapy.
You're my therapy. Oh, no.
Oh, dear.
Oh, God.
So I really love this episode. I did not give it a 30, but I do really love this episode. I gave it a 7 for plot, mainly because, like, plot, did anything really happen? Not really. Like, the plot that
Mulan got her heart broke.
The plot that moved forward was Neil made it to Neverland. That will be important going forward. And Tink is joining them. She's not going to be the most helpful, but she's going to be there, and you can't have Peter Pan without Tinkerbell. That's what I was saying.
Honestly.
So, it gets a 9 for character. There's a lot of character growth, like with Regina just admitting that she was just too afraid to let in love, and, like, she's realizing now so much, like, with, like, that her actions have consequences for people that aren't her. Like Tink's line at the end, like when she asked, "Did you ever go after him?" and like, she's like, "You know how selfish that is," and she's like, That's a lot of things. How is it selfish? She's like, because you didn't just ruin your own life, you ruined his. And we'll see what goes on with him. Like, Roland is a timeline issue because he's 4.
How is he 4?
I've just decided magic. That's all I can do with that. But like, there's a lot goes on with Robin that we will see in future seasons. It gets a 10 for personal though, because like, I love it.
It's fun.
This one's just a fun episode. This one does get a 26, which is still a very good score. In general,
I stand by my score.
I'm very happy that this was a 30 for you.
I felt like I needed a good episode because the first 2, I'm just like, all right, we're in Neverland.
I think,
but it's Tinkerbell.
It's Tinkerbell. I think next week is going to be like, really, this is what we're doing. But then the next week is Hook backstory.
Yes,
and then you get Ariel. So.
Okay, so maybe this season's ending up better than I thought. I'm liking everybody else. Except for the teenager.
Everyone but Pan. Makes me so happy. Which again, like I anytime anyone asks me to like include Pan in like anything that I do for my account, I'm like, it's the Austin Powers sound of, how about no? Like, it's my account. My account is not a democracy. I am the Senate. I do what I want. So my last little rant here, because I feel like right now we're in that part where like Snow and Charming are still obviously in the forefront of things, but they're quite literally brushed to the side, and that their conversations are off to the side, away from everybody else. I say this a lot about their relationship, is that their story is one predominantly of a romance. And even though right now he's hiding the Dream Shade hit from her, and that will cause conflict, their story is kind of done. Like, other than like, they still have their ups and downs, they still have things that they're doing, but ultimately their romance is no longer our central romance. I would say for the first 2 seasons, their romance was our central romance.
Yeah.
Because we're trying, it was constantly, I mean, season 1 especially, was we were seeing them meeting in the Enchanted Forest. We were also seeing everything going on in Storybrooke under the curse. And then season 2 is Snow's back in the Enchanted Forest, David's trying to get her back. The conflict of like, maybe someone will go to the Enchanted Forest, maybe we won't, I don't know. But I would say at this point, once they're together for good and like reunited for good in 209, 210, their romance is pretty much solidified. It's kind of, they're solid, which just paves the way. So they are, like, people always say, like, I feel like after a while, like Snow and Charming, they just kind of like get pushed to the side. We don't really see a lot of them. Like,
well, like, do we need more?
How much of their story do you need is my question.
Look, marriage is a lot of the time monotonous. So like, you really don't want too much happening in your marriage. Yeah. So like, let them enjoy that.
Exactly. Like, they can, like, they're going to have their issues. They're going to have their ups and downs, but like, their story, like, if it feels off to the side, it's because it is off to the side, so we can make room for the new central romance, which is Captain Swan.
Yeah, it seems more enjoyable to me.
So, because like, they will have more ups and downs and more adventures and and that's like what I say about Outlaw Queen, is like, we don't, since they're never a central romance for the show, it never feels as satisfying. It's just cute because Lana and Sean have good chemistry, and Regina gets to be happy when she gets to be happy.
Like, she deserves some happiness.
She deserves some happiness. There'll be at one point she'll walk into a room and like, after like making out with Robin in the hallway, because like she'll have gotten caught by Henry, and it's almost like getting caught by your parents making out, and like she's like just trying to like, you know, play it off really nicely, but then she walks in the room and Snow just goes, Regina, if I didn't know any better, I'd say you look smitten. Because she's just like, she gets to be happy, and that's okay.
Let her be happy.
Let her be happy.
The writers so rarely let her.
Yes, and that will continue.
Oh, great.
Regina is unfortunately this show's punching bag.
It's just mean.
Yeah.
It's just mean.
That's why she's my favorite.
That's fair.
Because then I get to write her happiness. Like,
that's good.
Again, I will never release my fan fiction for anyone to associate with any other account I ever have. But in my fan fiction, Regina's always happy.
Thank you all for listening. Join us next time when we discuss Bob's Burgers Season 5, Episode 19, House Trap, and Episode 20, Hawk and Chick. Don't forget to like, rate, and follow the podcast wherever you listen so you can be notified every time we publish a new episode. Follow us at OBDYK_pod on Instagram and TikTok. And if you'd like to join our Patreon, you can find the link with more details in our show notes.
This has been an episode of Okay, But Did You Know? A TV and media podcast. It was hosted by Lauren and Katie and edited by Lauren.